And now, back to the Trust Radio Network on AM 560. The Answer. Real conversations with some of the most trusted professionals in Chicagoland. Once again, here's attorney Stephen A. Leahy.
Hey, welcome back. First I want to thank you for joining us here on a Saturday night or Friday afternoon, depending on when you're visiting us.
We do it Friday afternoon?
We do a live show on Friday afternoons, and you can watch it on watchtalkradio.com or on Facebook. We're on Facebook also. Or you can listen to this show on Saturday night at 10 o'clock. And this Saturday, now remember, the Trusted Radio Network is about introducing you to trusted professionals, people that you can trust when you're making important decisions, such as legal, such as financial, such as
taking
medical.
care of your teeth.
That's right.
That's right. It's so important.
And so today we're joined with Jim Economos from Best Dental Group, and he helps a lot of people with their dental problems. And so I wanted to talk to Jim first. In our last segment we were talking about immigration and things like that, and I try to avoid politics, not because I don't love it, because I do love it, and we do talk a lot of politics on the IRS Radio Hour, but I don't want to get bogged down with politics. But having said that, what I want, sometimes we will get, but this again. Let's talk a little bit about. First, tell us again where your office is, Jim.
Okay, my office is downtown Bartlett, 106 West Bartlett Avenue, Bartlett 60103. Phone number 630-830-4930. I opened up there in 1980.
Wow.
Just a new guy out of school. And,
so,
in fact, one of the reasons why I went there, because you're talking about people help you. When I was in college, I went to Carbondale, like the rural life, but then I kind of liked the urban life. So Bartlett back then only had a population of about 13,000. And back during that time, it was the end of Carter, beginning of Reagan, and interest rates were very high to buy a home. So people weren't buying and selling homes at that time. And so, when I was looking out there, my dad had a friend who said, well, right now things aren't going well because of high interest rates. But he said when the interest rates get lower, Bartlett's going to grow up like a mushroom because they'd roughed in all these farm fields with all the sewer tile work for development. I mean, that whole area, Hoffman Estates, Elgin, South Elgin, Bartlett, Hanover Park, all these towns that were very small annexed all this property and grew much bigger. And that was one of the reasons why I came there.
I remember it well. I remember when I was in high school in the 70s, and we did something out in Bartlett. It was in the middle of nowhere at the time.
Yeah, back then all the roads were 2-lane highways.
Yeah, it was in the middle of nowhere.
That's amazing.
And now
amazing.
It's Cook County.
It's kind of like
it was always Cook County, but right. I mean now Cook County means something different.
Kind of like out by where we are up in the northern suburbs.
Exactly.
There was. Exactly. I mean, I have a neighbor, and he moved in 1980, I think 78 or something. He's got pictures. It's gravel, right?
It's interesting. You started your own practice right out of school?
Well, I was with another office for a while up in Barrington, and I thought that was going to be the plum office. 2 practices under one roof, in-house lab. But after a while, I called my associate or my boss, I guess. Said, Mr. Ron, I'm working on Mrs. Smith, Mr. Jones. What should I do for this person, that person? And after about 6 months, my assistant said, Ron doesn't like him when you call him up so much at home. So I'm not calling to talk about girls and sports. I'm talking about patients. Because when you're right out of school, you're a doctor, but you just don't have the experience.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just how it is for any profession. So anyway, then the writing was on the wall, and then one time I had a problem with a patient, which today I would have solved in 20 seconds. But anyway, so the writing was on the wall, time for me to go. So then I started looking around, and I discovered Bartlett. So I've been there since I started in September of 1980.
Well, okay, so I just was asking that because when I started my practice, I started right out of school myself. Looked for a place to land, but nothing. I'm like you. Corporate world isn't for me.
Yeah,
it's not something that I would.
Especially in today's PC.
you got to really watch what you said.
Even then,
even
then, I was always an independent streak, and so I always wanted to work for myself.
Right.
And of course, I was a little bit older than most coming out because as we talked about it was a delay for me to become an attorney. So I understand exactly what you're talking about. But give us some case histories.
Well,
people that you help. What kind of people do you help?
Well, we see people from, actually it's expanded now because my colleague who discovered this, he works on little babies. He does tongue ties and
really
releases, a lot of releasing. Kids are having speech problems and things, but little babies that are tongue tied and can't nurse mom because their tongues don't go around the nipple too well. He releases the tongues so they can grab on her and moms go home happy because they can nurse their kids. It's an amazing thing. We have these little kids that are, like 2-3 months old. He does laser tongue tongue releases so they can properly suck mom's nipple, and it's amazing. So we get these little babies, and you hear these kids go crying like you're in a maternity ward. So older pages, we got babies here. So that's my colleague. I give him a lot of the credit. Dr. Gable is his name. He's a periodontist. He's really done this very well. In fact, he goes around and gives lectures now on it. But as far as what I do, and what I tell people, you're lucky a lot of these problems occurred today. For example, if you lose it, first of all, I tell people, don't pull out a good tooth if you can do a root canal and save it. Unless it's a wisdom teeth, you want to keep all your teeth, because what happens is, if you start pulling your teeth out, then your teeth shift and there's more pounds per square inch on the teeth that are remaining. So then it's a slow degradation. And that's why people end up, have their teeth gone. They look old because their bite collapses and things like this.
Oh,
So all this stuff is avoided by preserving your natural equipment. And so when people have a blown out molar and, it hurts, it's in the back, you don't see it, it's like a piece of garbage. I say, hey, that's your foundation. Something you don't see in a building is your foundation. Keeps the building up, keeps the building up. And your molars, those are the big guys in your mouth. Another one of my analogies is, in football, if the offensive line doesn't protect the quarterback gets sacked.
ain't that the truth?
So when the big boys aren't there over time, the little guys get the crap beat out of them, pardon my French. And so this is why it's important to educate folks. You spend time with them. And, but if things happen, sometimes teeth break or something, you can't save them. I tell people, you're lucky we have implants today, and there's other things called bone grafting where you can preserve the socket, keep the mouth what it should be, because if you lose a tooth, the best replacement is to have an implant put in.
That's amazing.
Versus a bridge. And people
We'll
did
talk a
like
little bit
partials.
about that, because I think implants are they're kind of new. I mean,
Well,
they're not new in the sense that but they're becoming more prevalent.
It's
I think it
because
used to be-
it's become, in my opinion, it's the standard of care. Because, see, back in the old days, it was the old metal partials, do nothing, let your teeth fall apart, or it was make a bridge. And so, they'd write these textbooks that were, 100 pages long on crown and bridge and stuff. But the problem is, once you start chopping down a good tooth to put, to make a crown to support a bridge, there's a nerve inside the tooth, so sometimes the nerve goes bad. Or when you have all these teeth tied up in one appliance, if one tooth goes bad, you can't just necessarily fix the one tooth. So the whole thing has to come off. You make another one. What happens if something else happens to a different tooth later? So this is the thing. You preserve your enamel. Another expression we call it is called minimally invasive dentistry. So if you put an implant in a space, you don't involve those other teeth, you're minimizing, the work to that one area where the tooth needs to be replaced, versus the old days of chopping down all these teeth. Now, if people have uncontrolled diabetes, or if they have other medical conditions and they cannot have implants because of medical reasons, then a bridge becomes an option. But if a healthy person, the average ordinary healthy person that doesn't smoke, implants have a success rate, if you do it the proper way, about 95 to 98%, because somebody discovered years ago that the metal titanium is not looked at like a foreign object by your body.
Is that right?
It's amazing. Yeah,
Really?
It's just one of those quirks of nature where somebody was just experimenting, trying to throw something in there. It's kind of like when they discovered Rogaine grew hair when they were using it for other medical purposes.
Well,
I
for
didn't
everybody out-
find it enough.
Yeah, for everybody out there that does smoke, and I know this too from a friend of mine. He has an implant and he had a cigar, and he all of a sudden goes, his tooth was hurt. Dentist went, hey, did you smoke? He goes, I had a cigar, and he goes, yeah, you don't.
Well, we tell people, if you smoke, your chances of implant success go down about 20-25% when you place it in there.
Wow.
Is that right?
Yeah, because it contaminates the area. Even though when you first put an implant in there, it's covered up and it's not visible, it can soak in there, so to speak. And
That's interesting.
yeah,
Wow,
so-
that's amazing. That's
and
amazing.
again,
All right, one last question. How has like the technology in your field changed since you started?
well, it's tremendous. I mean, for example, like, years ago it was the old X-rays where you was developing the old, photographs with developer and fixer and things, and all these chemicals and things. So now it's all digital, and plus you can put it on a big TV screen. So instead of having somebody look at a little film, see this little spot right here, you can put on the screen that's 30 inches wide or something, and say, oh yeah, I can see it easily. Like if a crown's leaking, and you can see decay in the margin or something.
So it helps, as a doctor, it helps you also
can-
diagnose what the problem is and solve it.
Plus people can see it themselves. I'm not,
Well, Jim, we're going to be upgrading you because
Yeah.
they just came out with the new 219-inch TV. I think that'd be great for
There you go.
Clients. Just put it right up on the
We'll put it on the roof.
That's right. Put it right on
I'm right along the
219.
metro
See this
line.
right here? Actually, it's
I'm right along the metro line, so we can have, when people are coming in from Chicago to to stop at the train stop.
Your phone number, sir.
630-830-4930.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We're with Jim Economos from Best Dental Group. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, give him a call. Also, too, the show is sponsored by Opum Tax Resolutions, 312-664-6649. To visit ChicagoTaxTeam.com. It's going to be your hub to fight the IRS. You're driving around on a Saturday night. You just missed that segment. Go to WatchTalkRadio.com. You go to Vimeo. You go to Facebook. Look up Trust Radio Network Facebook page. You could be able to see all of this wonderful content right in front of you. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, don't delay. Visit WatchTalkRadio.com. And listen to our sponsors. Come right back on AM 560. The Answer.